Hi friends, Molly Pompidith here, CEO of the SWORD Community Network and co-founder of the SWORD Community Nebula. We are out there in a community interviewing and highlighting really awesome community builders and change agents from all over the world with a variety of backgrounds, and we're delighted to bring to you today our friend Phil. Phil, I'm going to have you say your last name when you introduce yourself because I always get it wrong. So thank you for being a part of this experience, this movement called Nebula.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Molly. My name is Phil Kreutzer. It's a German last name with a Z in it, so it's a little challenging.
N. I always want to put an N in there somewhere. So
yeah, you could fit an N in there. There's room for an N in there.
Anyway, I wanted you to talk a little bit about who you are in the world, what you're doing right now, and then we'll dive into some of the visions that you have for a better world. How's that sound?
Sure. Yeah, it sounds great. So you caught me at an interesting time in my life. Just split off from my business partners. We had started a digital media marketing company about 8 years ago in the DC area. Do a lot of federal contracting, especially in healthcare. And I just decided that, it was time for a change for me. So 3 months ago, I split off with them and have just been traveling for a while through Southeast Asia. And now I'm in the mountains of Utah before I go back out to Asia. But yeah, so professionally right now I'm in a shift period, so I'm waiting for the next thing, and quite into yoga and meditation. And the next thing, my next venture will definitely involve some meditation.
That's awesome. Okay, so yeah. The interview series that we have is again highlighting community champions and champions of change, right? People who are out there really wanting to do more for the world, more for their communities, more for society. And the question that I would like to ask you is, along your life's journey, have there been moments or an experience that come to mind that really shifted the way in which you operate in the world? And also, that empathy piece, that compassion, where was it shown to you that really helped you think that there was something greater for us as human beings than just existing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kind of two different questions there. So I'll start with a person who's helped me to kind of open a door up for me. So I would say when I was introduced to meditation and yoga, those were two separate events, but both very profound. And meditation was my uncle. My uncle was a longtime practicing Zen Buddhist, and I was always interested in it. And I had a down point in my life, and I was looking for some guidance, and I reached out to him and decided to start meditating. And meditating, what it did for me is to help quiet my mind, which was very necessary. Trying to quiet down the monkey mind, all the things going on, was hard for me to focus on just one thing. So having that tool has been invaluable. And then yoga, actually my ex-girlfriend was a yoga teacher, and she got introduced me there. And yoga, what it did is it helped me to get out of my mind and into my body, which was also very important. Because when we're in our body, we can come into the present moment easier. And so that was transformational for me.
So how many years have you been meditating, and how many years have you been practicing yoga?
Yeah, I've been meditating off and on for about 10, 11 years, I guess. And then really got an everyday practice over the last 3 or 4 years. Same with yoga, last 2.5 years, really gotten into an everyday practice.
So how has it shifted you? I mean, in terms of just witnessing yourself through this journey for the past 10 plus years, doing it off and on, and now pretty much doing both every day, what has been your transformation?
Definitely. Yeah. So yoga and meditation together are very powerful combination. And what it's done, as I said, is it's quiet my mind and help bring me into the present moment. And I'll tell you, it doesn't happen overnight. It's really kind of mysterious how, you just sit quietly and then you do these poses, and then things start to shift for you. part of yoga is trying to conquer the mind. And so you sit in really challenging poses and you find a way to be comfortable in a very uncomfortable pose. And so that extends out to your entire life, where you can find, quiet in the chaos, and you can find a way to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that really helps you to navigate difficult situations and challenges in life. And then your confidence builds and it kind of snowballs from there. And that's kind of what's happened for me.
Really neat.
Yeah.
Okay, now when you think of a change agent and interview builder, what characteristics or attributes come to mind? What do they exude?
Sure. I think for me, it's a deep commitment. And that commitment is devotional. So it's not transactional. It's first and foremost coming from the heart. And then if you make money, great, but you're really coming from that heart-centered motivation. And I think that is so important, because the heart won't steer you wrong. It'll take you to good places and doing good things, making solid change for not just you, but for other people as well.
And then when you've traveled, now that you've traveled the world, you see so many things, different perspective, different viewpoints, global viewpoints. And as you've traveled, or even before your travels, what pulls at your heartstring? What causes, what issues do you care about? And are you actively engaging using your gifts and talents and life lessons? How are you contributing to those causes that matter to you?
Great question. Yeah, I think for me, traveling has really illuminated just how we're all human. And so if we're all the same, then you can see the humanity in everyone. And so what pulls at my heart is to see, a beautiful interaction among more than one human, right? So like, I'm here with one of my best friends and her little cute daughter, and it's just beautiful to see them interact. And so if you're able to see that in everybody, then I want to help everybody. And I think the way to do that is to bring everyone else into the present moment and raise their consciousness up. And so that for me is the where you get your biggest bang for the buck, right? You can help everybody. You can start small by helping one person to come into the present moment and raise their consciousness. Then they're going to want to help another, and so on and so forth. So that's it for me in a nutshell.
But how do you do that? How do
you do that?
How do you raise someone's level of consciousness and awareness? How do you get them to practice it consistently and be a guide for that?
Yeah, I think it's already happening. I think, yoga and meditation are both proliferating throughout the West. And yoga is maybe got away from your purest form for a lot of people. And the asanas, as we know, yoga in the West is just the posture, which is just one of 8 limbs of yoga. So yoga is actually much more than that. But you only need one limb, one door to open, right? So it could come in through like a core power yoga or Bikram yoga, not a traditional yoga type, but that's just a gateway for people to kind of get in the door. And through that practice, they realize, hey, wait, I really like Shavasana. I really like when I get to the end of yoga and how I feel when I'm lying down. So let me explore this for you. Let me go deeper. And then as they go deeper, it could lead them to meditation or other things. And it kind of happens naturally because it just feels good.
Right. So you're not just advocating for it. Do you want to talk a little bit about your journey of getting certified in teaching as well? I mean, that's something that you're interested in, right?
Yeah, I just finished my 200-hour certification, which is just a foundational course if you want to become a yoga instructor, out in Bali, which was amazing. I was, it's hyper bonding. A 200-hour is hyper bonding with the other classmates. So we had about 30 people there, became best friends, and you learn a ton, and it's really a transformational experience. And I'm looking forward to teaching now. And growing into that role and helping others to learn to love yoga.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on that. I was really happy to see that on social media.
Yeah, thank you.
So anyway, that was awesome. All right, so Phil, you know that life is not easy. We've all gotten our hearts shattered. We've all had to pick ourselves back up from the floor. We've had to split from relationships. We've had to nurture existing relationships, had to mend old scars. All those things happen in life, right? What keeps you going? Is there a quote or philosophy or a model that you can share with our audience that helps empowers you and motivates and guides you forward?
Yeah, I have a ton. I'm going to share with you on my home screen of my phone right now. It says, everyone wants to live on the top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it. And so that to me is about being in the present moment. For a long time, I think what I struggled with is I wanted to be at the top of the mountain. I wanted the success without having to do the work. And, what you're missing there is the whole entire journey, right? It's all of life. Life happens in the space between A and B. So that for me is a good reminder of try to stay present and enjoy the journey.
Really cool. Well, it speaks to the path that you're on, right? That quote being on your home screen, and then the actions that you're taking on a daily basis to be mindful and be present. So you're living what it is that you aspire to be, which is cool. Okay, so last but not least, I know that you're on your journey. I know that you're traveling the world for several more months. Who knows where you're going to end up? But how can people learn more about you or connect with you and maybe follow you through your journey?
Sure. Yeah. The best thing would probably be to follow me on Instagram. So I don't know if should I say the handle or?
And then I can share it later.
Sure. So it's @_filter with a PHILTER _.
That's awesome.
And they can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn too.
Phil, thank you so much for your time. Any other final words of wisdom?
No, thank you. Just looking forward to this project unfolding and all the many other people you're going to talk to.
That's awesome. Thanks again for your time. Thanks for sharing this very important life lesson of pausing and living in the moments of life and not just striving for a dream, right? But being the dream, being a part of the actual dream. That is the story of your life. It's very inspiring. I have been following you, and I think you need to post more actually, because I'm finding myself like, I gotta post again. So
I do.
Thanks for all.
I got into the Instagram stories, and I'm just sticking with the stories. I need to put out some real posts.
That's awesome. Thanks so much. All right. So everyone who is watching, thanks for your time. Thank you, Phil, so much. If you are interested in nominating a change agent, a community builder, someone who's really doing some good that you want to spotlight, and remember to spotlight yourself too. There is no shame at all in nominating yourself. And then learn how you can be a member or a partner to our platform. Please visit nebula.soar, SOAR, communitynetwork.com. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll talk to you real soon.